What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about and be the owner of some nice and shiny silver. In today's video, I want to focus on the importance of not only stacking silver if you fully intend on stacking silver long term, but why it's important to stack a little bit of cash consistently as well. I also want to talk about how much silver could possibly be too much silver. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things as we fully dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, make sure to try yourself some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to be, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really simple for a new investor to start investing because of how easy it is to learn about the market and navigate on their app. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies, any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. Okay, Alright, so in today's video, I wanted to respond to a comment that I had received on a recent video of mine. I put out a video not that long ago talking about the importance of saving a little bit of cash and keeping a little bit of cash, that currency, that fiat, those US dollar bills on the sidelines. Why it's important, and not just important, why it's necessary, why it's vital to do so. In addition to stacking silver, stacking gold, investing if you're investing, it's important to have a little bit of cash as well and to regularly and consistently contribute to your cash reserves. Before we even fully dive into that, let's do a quick spot price update. We've been seeing a lot of moves be made by the precious metals. Silver, as I'm recording this video on Thursday, June 12th, 2025 at 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is $36.18. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are still above $36 per troy ounce. If you haven't already seen my most recent video, go and check out that video right there. It's talking about the pop that silver has seen in recent weeks. Because guess what? About 2 weeks ago, silver was in the $32 range, and now it's over $36 an ounce. From a dollar bill perspective, it might not sound like that big of a deal, but from a percentage perspective, silver's up by a lot. Also, want to mention gold. Can't talk about silver without talking about gold. Same day, same time, Thursday, June 12, 2025 at 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spot price of gold is $3,405.79. That is right, $3,405.79. Gold is up as well. Over $3,400 per troy ounce. The precious metals are absolutely, without a doubt, on the move, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so if you haven't seen the video that I posted not that long ago, I was talking about the importance of stacking a little bit of cash as well. Whatever it is that you're stacking, whether it be silver, whether it be gold, or whether you're buying into stocks. If you're stacking or investing, or both, it's important to also have a little bit of cash. And in the video, I was talking about some hypotheticals. If this were to happen, an emergency car repair, a new roof, loss of a job, some type of a financial emergency. It's important to have your living expenses 3 months. A lot of people used to say 1 to 3 months worth of expenses. I think COVID-19 taught us 3 to 6 months is probably a little bit more ideal to have, just in case. Just like all the other preps that we have, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Have 3 to 6 months of living expenses, and those are the mandatory living expenses. Keep a roof over your head, food in the fridge, your car on the road. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your Doritos at the store. I'm not talking about stopping home and, going out to eat. I'm not talking about going to the bar. I'm not talking about your Netflix subscription. I'm talking about what you need to survive. Total that up for the month, multiply it by 3, that's your starting point. That is your target. Once you get to 3, start working on 4. Once you get to 4, start working on 5, and then 6. And at that point, you might be on the okay side. I posted this video going into great detail. I received a comment on that video saying that if you have to sell your silver to cover a financial emergency, could indicate that you had too much silver or not enough fiat. I half agree, half disagree. But I wanted to talk about this, because as soon as I read the words too much silver, I said, well, hold up now. What does that mean? Now, obviously, he's saying, maybe over-leveraged into silver, bit off a little bit more than you can chew. I think that's what the comment's supposed to read. But I have gotten comments in the past before talking about having too much silver, or you don't want to have too much silver, or you don't want to reach a point where you have too much silver, or do I have too much silver? I wanted to kind of focus on that as well. Reason being is because, personally, what do I consider to be too much silver, quote unquote, too much silver? There is no specific amount. And to be honest with you, I don't think that there is such a thing as too much silver. Because silver, at the end of the day, is money. Gold, at the end of the day, is money. Is it possible to have too much money? Personally, I don't think so. I don't believe that exists. I don't believe we live in a world where one can have too much money. Now, here's a weird oddball example. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, however long it's been, remember when Justin Bieber was on the news for something horrible every day? Like, oh, Justin Bieber drag racing his friggin' Lamborghinis, or Justin Bieber's doing this, or Justin Bieber did that. Justin Bieber bought a monkey. All these weird things were going on. I remember so many people saying, that kid has too much money. I heard my family members say that he has too much money. And my argument at the time, not that I was really arguing for Bieber here, but my argument against the words too much money was, how is that possible? I mean, there are people in the world that are smarter and more mature than he is, with way more money, and they're not making these stupid decisions. So is it the amount of money? People that were his age at the time, they might not have been drag racing their Lamborghinis, but they were absolutely drag racing their Honda Civics. They might not have been out there like on private jets flying all over the place and getting in all types of trouble in all these different countries, ticking everybody off. But these people were driving around, ticking other people off in different towns. These people might not have been buying monkeys, but they were buying other stupid stuff. So is it really a money situation? I don't think so. I think it's an IQ and maturity situation. I don't think the guy had too much money. I don't think anybody out there has too much money. I don't think that there is such a thing as too much money. So, going back to silver and gold here, or silver here, quote unquote, too much silver, I don't believe one can have too much silver because I don't believe one can have too much money. Although there's a little bit of an asterisk there. You can potentially have, quote unquote, too much silver if if you've gotten to the point where you're running out of room for all your silver. Now, first things first, if you've gotten to that point, God bless. That's a beautiful problem to have. Imagine running out of room for all your money. You have so much money, you're running out of space. And silver, obviously, it's not too far-fetched to envision yourself in the future running into that issue, because silver's very cheap compared to gold, compared to platinum, compared to palladium, compared to rhodium. Silver's really cheap. It doesn't take a tremendous amount of dollar bills to get a nice little pile of silver. And that nice little pile of silver, it's not going to take a crazy long time for that to turn into a mountain of silver. Now, many of us lock up our silver. Many of us have a safe or multiple safes that we keep our silver. It's a good way of staying organized. It's a good way of keeping your wealth protected. However, also got to take into account what happens when we fill up that safe. Is that time to stop stacking? I don't think so. I think it's time to buy another safe. So let's just say you do buy another safe. Start from scratch. Little by little by little by little, you work on filling up that safe. And guess what? There will come a day in the future where that safe can't fit another silver coin. So now you've filled up 2 safes packed with silver. Again, beautiful problem to have. Is it time to stop stacking? Probably not. Is it time to buy a 3rd safe? Probably so. So once again, you start from scratch. Little by little, you work on the 3rd safe, and guess what? Eventually, there will come a day where you fill up that 3rd safe. Now what? I mean, we can go on and on. Oh, buy a 4th safe. Buy a 9th safe. Buy a 34th safe. Here's the thing. When you run out of room for silver in the safe and you go and buy another safe, your inevitable problem will eventually be, now you're running out of room for all the safes. That right there is the only thing I can think of even remotely close to having quote-unquote too much silver. If you have so much silver you're running out of room for it, you don't have any space left in your house for another safe to store silver. Here's what you can do. You can take some of that silver and you can trade it for gold. Now, I understand the gold to silver ratio is not in our favor. I understand the gap between silver and gold is wild. It's currently in the 1 to 90s. Recently, we've seen 1 to 100, 1 to over 100. I think it was 102, 103. That's very far apart. You probably wouldn't ordinarily want to trade silver for gold when the ratio is that far apart. I've always said that if we can get down to 1 to 60, 1 to 50, 1 to 40, that would be a great time, at least for me and in my opinion, to trade some silver for some gold. And in my opinion, from my perspective, it doesn't make sense at all to trade silver for gold now. However, you can make an exception under special circumstances, like, for example, running out of room for all the safes for your silver. You can use the gold, utilize the gold, trade some silver for gold, specifically to reduce the weight, reduce the bulk, and reduce how much room all that wealth is taking up. The gold to silver ratio doesn't need to be in your favor. You're doing yourself an even bigger favor by storing that same amount of value, that same amount of wealth, just by converting one type of metal into the other and emptying out your safes without cashing out. That's the only time I can think of where you could be in a position where you have too much silver, when you're just simply running out of room for all of your silver. there is a fix, and that fix is gold. Again, the gold to silver ratio doesn't need to be in your favor. It's preferred to be in your favor, but it's not something that we have control over. If it's simply to reduce the weight, reduce the bulk, and create room, I see no problem with trading silver for gold when the ratio is not in your favor. I think that's okay. Now, it's also important to remember that you can do the opposite as well. You can trade your gold for silver when the ratio is kind of where it's at right now. I don't think it's a bad time at all to trade a small amount of gold for a large amount of silver, because when the ratio is far apart, you can get more silver for your gold. However, that's not something I can ever see myself doing. I don't work that way. To me, even though it could potentially be an opportunity, I feel like that would be a step backwards in the order of operations, in the order of stackerations. See, I've always said that my game plan is to just simply go to work, trade my time for dollars, which hurts my soul to admit that that's what I'm doing, but that's what we're all doing. Trading my most valuable asset, something that's far more valuable than silver or gold could ever be, my time, for dollars, a dying, depreciating asset. But that's step number one. Go to work, trade time for dollars. Step two is to trade dollars for really two different things, because I am an investor, but sticking to the precious metals here, trade dollars for silver. Trade that depreciating asset for some real, true, honest money. Of course, a little bit of gold on the side as well. Got to stack a little bit of gold for diversification purposes. Even though the ratio tells me that silver is far more of an opportunity at this time, still pick up a little bit of gold from time to time for the sake of diversification. Step one, trade time for dollars. Step two, dollars for silver. Step three, when the gold to silver ratio gap closes in, trade some, not all, not most, probably not even half, not even a major chunk of, but trade some of that silver for some gold. Get more gold for your silver when the ratio is far apart, or when the ratio gap closes in. When the ratio gap is far apart, if you want to, you could trade gold for silver, get more silver for your gold, but I'm looking to get more gold for my silver when the gap is tight. Step one, step two, step three. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go from step three to step two. Go from gold to silver. No, I want to go from dollars to silver, silver to gold. Doesn't matter what the ratio gap is doing. You know, far apart, close together. Go from dollars to silver to gold, back to silver, and then gold again, and then back to silver, gold again. No, I understand why people do it. It's not something I would want to do. It's not something I've ever participated in. It's not something that I've ever even considered. I'm moving in one direction and one direction only, and I don't want to take any steps back, even if there's an opportunity there. No, I want to move forward, not back. And by the way, there is a potential step 4. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely for some people. Dollars for silver, silver for gold, gold for land. Trading some of that beautiful yellow metal for some real estate. That's something that a lot of people are interested in. Something that I'm interested in. Something that I fully intend on being a part of one day. But regardless, that's the potential next step. So coming around full circle here, if you're getting to the point where you're running out of room in your safe for some silver. Consider taking a handful of that silver and either linking up with somebody or going to the local coin shop or doing whatever and trading that silver for some gold. Reduce the weight, reduce the bulk without cashing out and going back to currency. I think most of our goals, most of us have the goal to get away from the currency. But take it into consideration. It's a relatively easy fix. There's a simple solution to a very beautiful problem, having too much silver, aka too much money. Or should I say, running out of room for all your silver, running out of room for all your money. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Do you think it's possible to have too much silver? Do you think it's possible to have too much gold? Do you think it's possible to have too much money? Let me know one way or the other down in the comments. And hypothetically, if you got to the point where you filled up a safe of silver, you filled up a second safe of silver, a third safe of silver, and now you're running out of room for all of the safes to put the silver in, what would your next step be? Put a pause on stacking? Or would you trade for gold? Let me know in the comments. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, 4 super quick things as we wrap up the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to get started, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app and learn about the market. And I do plan on taking 3 people this month in May of 2025. I want to help 3 people learn about the market and help them and guide them through kickstarting their very own investment portfolio. So if you want to be one of those 3, please reach out. And the Webull link will be in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, whether it be anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below one more time. What are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? When it comes to the silver, when it comes to the gold, when it comes to the money, do you think it's possible to have too much? Is it possible to have too much money, too much silver, too much gold? And hypothetically, if you were to get to the point where you're running out of room for all the safes to store your silver in because you're getting so much friggin' silver, number 1, obviously understand that it's a beautiful problem to have, but 2, what would your solution to that problem be? Would you just stop stacking? Or would you trade some of that silver for gold to once again reduce the weight, reduce the bulk, and create room? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.